Hey everyone, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here. In this video, we are going to be fitting roof bows in my 1932 Ford sedan. So yesterday, I was at the barber shop getting my hair did. Thank you, by the way. I agree, it looks great. When Al Clark called me. Al Clark, if you guys don't remember, we went to his place a couple videos back. He was having the 32 Ford garage sale, as well as we got the frame jig in that video. We got that from Al Clark as well. So he's moving right now. He's lived in the same house for 54 years, and he's been building 32 specifically in that house for like 30 years. So he's finding a whole bunch of stuff. And when he called me yesterday, he said, "Hey Lee, I'm just doing a dump run, but before these go to the dump, I got a full set of roof bows for a 32 Ford sedan. Do you want them?" I was like, yes, I do. I was a little unsure how I wanted to tackle the roof on this because it does not have the original wood in it anymore. And I priced the wood kit out. It was $800, which is a lot. So I was kind of thinking, like, maybe do I fabricate something on my own? I don't know. I'm not a very good carpenter. I'm a terrible carpenter, lousy carpenter. I have never been able to get wood to weld nicely. It's not my jam, not my cup of tea. But with these roof bows that Al donated, you know, that changes things a little bit. It's not the entire roof kit, but it's enough that I think I can use this and some ingenuity and maybe a little fabrication skills to make the rest. So that's what we're gonna get into in this video. Let's get started. So yesterday, Shannon and I were kind of trying to figure out how to lay these out in the correct order, because obviously there's no instructions that come with a wood kit that was about to go in the dumpster. And online I couldn't find too much, but I could find enough. And that is that these two bows, these are all different lengths by the way, but these two bows, this one has 3 holes in it, and not that one. This one has 2 holes in it. And those we've determined are the middle ones. They go right here, and those holes are for the interior light fixture. So knowing that those are the middle, actually, the one with 3 holes is actually the middle, and the one with 2 holes goes slightly ahead of that. The rest we were able to kind of figure out, well, I shouldn't say figure them all out because we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 4 figured out. The rest we're gonna have to mock up still. So for the spacing, that was another one that took a bit of trial and error. Originally, I took a measurement here from the end of where the roof insert would sit to where the roof insert sits on this side, and divided that by 9 so that we've got our one end, our second end, and then our 7 bows. And that gave me 7.5 inches. So I started spacing them out at 7.5 inches, and it wasn't working. I tried it like 3 or 4 times, starting from this side, starting from that side. Then I remembered that I have a CAD design program for my plasma table, which, like, you know, does all this for you. So I entered that length in there and then put 7 roof bows evenly spaced through there. And it turns out it's not 7.5 inches. I just suck at math. It's 8 5/8. So at that point, that's as far as I got yesterday. So I guess at this point now, what I'm gonna do is start spacing them. I think I'll find our center point here and then go 8 5/8, 8 5/8, 8 5/8, 8 5/8, and just kind of hold them in with clamps and see how it looks. From there, I've got a rough idea based on these two that I think will work for all of them, but I want to lay them out first just to make sure. This little notch right here is supposed to sit on the piece of wood that runs along here, which is the piece of wood we don't have, so that's where we're going to have to get creative. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've got seats in this car now. Last week when I put the floors in, I put the seats in just because I wanted to sit in it and see how it felt. And I've never taken them out. It's only 2 bolts to take each seat out, which I still haven't done. Instead, I'm just struggling the whole time getting in and out of this car by climbing over the seats. Isn't that ridiculous? It's just 2 bolts, take them out. So I'm gonna lay some masking tape just along this edge here that we can use to make our marks on with a pencil. While I'm doing that, just wanted to mention, have you guys seen the video that Bennett's Customs did on dropping or building a jig to drop axles? What a great video. I really, really like that one. And I think I might take some of their ideas and implement it into the jig that I have. All right, we're gonna do that on that side. Anyway, what I was saying is go check out Bennett's Customs on YouTube. Great guy. Jordan Bennett from BC, lives in Australia now, and he's partnered up with, I think his name's Ben. Never actually met him because I've never been to Australia. And the only time I've hung out with Jordan is when he's back in Canada visiting. So, but anyways, great guys, great channel, great hot rod videos. Go check it out if you already haven't. So we've got to measure and find our center in here, but you'll notice these are curved. Both, like all 4 corners are curved, so it's really hard to accurately measure this thing. So what I've done is ran some tape along the front here where this front edge is straight, and we're gonna take a straight edge, lay it on there, and then we can transfer this line all the way along here. And now we can measure from this point back to here. We're gonna do this on all 4 corners. We can go back to there and then find our definite center line. Just like that. Do that all the way around and then measure. All right, what do we got? $69. What's 69 divided by 2? 70, half of 70 is 35? 35. Wait, yeah, 35. So 34 3/4, I think. There's 34 3/4. So if that was the right measurement, if we go from here to here, we should get 34 and almost 1/4. Let's call it 34 1/2. Okay, there's 34 1/2. Where'd our line go? Right there. 34 1/2. Cool. So that's where our first bow is gonna go. 34 1/2. 34 1/2. All right, let's grab the bow. We'll lay it in there and see how it's gonna fit. Oh, these seats are a pain in the ass. My foot's stuck on it. So if we hold our bow flush against the roof panel like that, in line with our center line, and come over to this side, we are underlapped just a tiny little bit. I think the roof might be able to stretch out. Like if I push this open a little bit, like just ever so little, like a 1/16 of an inch, I think it'll fit nice in there. And kind of what my plan is, see if I can hold this and the camera all at the same time, is to just make like a little bracket that will, I'd like to try to utilize a stock hole if I can. So have something that, like, you know, rivets or bolts in there and then bolts in here, kind of a little metal tab like that. I think we'll lay the rest of them out and see how our center line matches with this line on the rest of the bows. And if it's kind of the same, then we'll just make a whole bunch that uses that. If they're all different, maybe we'll just make brackets without the holes, and then we'll just drill our own new holes where they fit. But like I said, first we'll lay them all out and see how they fit. Hey, cool. I just kind of stretched it a little bit, and the roof itself kind of clamps it in place, which is awesome because I've only got 4 of these clamps and I've got 7 bows. So, I mean, obviously I can't clamp them all. Isn't that great? So we gotta space these 8 5/8 apart, right? Instead of measuring each individual one with the tape measure, what I've done is got a piece of scrap aluminum, come over to the shear, and I've cut this to 8 5/8. So now we can just kind of use this as a template and space them out. Okay, all our bows are in here. So this one and this one, I actually switched around. This is supposed to be the middle one, but it here, and this one fits nicer here. They don't all fit exact, like these ones, see how they're flush right to the end? This one overlaps, and then these two are just a little bit too short. Also, our holes, like that one looks okay, that one looks okay, that one's not, this one's different. So my idea of making one bracket that just like utilizes these holes is not gonna work. So we'll probably end up making one that I'll just drill the holes on the roof itself. That way I can put them where they fit nice. These guys, I don't know if I should stretch the roof open a little bit, like maybe this might be a little bit flat from what it's supposed to be stock. And I'm thinking maybe push that up, or maybe I'll just shave them down. This has a pretty nice profile to it, and if I open this up, that's not really gonna help these two that are a little bit shorter. That's gonna want the roof to suck in a bit. So I might just shave these guys down. I don't know yet. I'm gonna take a day to think about the best way to do that because I've run out of time for today. Gotta go over to Brian's place. So we'll catch up on this in a day or so. And that brings us to our next thing I want to talk about, a little bit of real talk here. So for the last, I don't know, year and a half, I've been trying to come up with or give you guys a video every week. Every Saturday I try to release a new video. Life has gotten really busy for me lately, as you regular viewers know. Shannon and I recently had a baby boy 4 months ago, little baby Lux. So that's taking up a fair amount of time, combined with last fall, the building that our shop is in. I was super fortunate enough that I was able to purchase this place, so we own it now. So I've been doing a lot of upgrades on that. As you might have noticed, we've got a brand new door in the background. So I've been doing a lot of like little shop projects like that to upgrade the shop, make it a nicer spot to work in, which again is taking up a lot of time. And I considered filming some of those projects for you guys, but I don't know if you guys care about that stuff. Probably not. I know a lot of the channels that do that kind of stuff, they've got a separate channel for that stuff. I don't know if this channel's big enough to do that. So I don't know. Let me know. If you guys want to see shop projects, let me know. If you don't want to see shop projects though, also let me know. I asked a while ago, there was a particular video that was a little bit out of what we normally do. And I was like, hey, you guys want to see this? And there was a bunch of people that were all like, yeah. Nobody said no. But when I made the video, hardly anybody watched it. So if you guys like seriously aren't interested, I am totally fine with that, but let me know so that I don't spend any time filming that stuff when I could be filming stuff that you guys actually are interested in, like this 32 Ford build. So anyways, I'm gonna head over to Brian's place for he's had a pork thing sitting roasting in his smoker since like 7 o'clock in the morning, so it's probably ready to go by now, and I'm ready for it too. So we'll see you guys in a day or two, and we'll continue on with this.
I forgot to mention the point. Videos, I'm going to try to set one up for every Saturday still, but if the Saturday comes along and a new video doesn't come out, that's why. Don't stress out. I'm not going anywhere. It's just sometimes it might be every 2 weeks that there's a video. Most of the videos on the 32 right now it's really time-consuming stuff, so most of the videos take usually 2 weeks to film rather than 1 week, so it's hard to do one every week when each video takes 2 weeks to make, if that makes sense. But not going anywhere, just might not be every week.
Hey guys, it's 6 days later and I finally have 5 minutes to get back to this project. I have not touched it since we last left off when I was heading over to Brian's for his smoked pork thing. Oh man, it was so good. I stuffed my face. Before we jump into this, we've got some fan mail, so let's quickly open that up. This first one is from Glenn Konorowski in Whitby, Ontario. It's a strong Eastern European name, Polish, Ukrainian maybe. Let's see what this is all about. There's something hard in here. Not sure what it is. It feels like a rear main seal. The same shape as a rear main seal. What do we got here? Hi Lee. I love the tee you sent me. T-shirt. Get your t-shirts at lgspeedcustom.com, by the way. But it's almost painful to watch you pour paint. So I sent you one of the paint can spots. It's supposed to fit all cans. Good luck with it. New product test from Glenn in Whitby, Ontario. Check this out. Fits all paint can spouts. That's exciting. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Glenn. I'm excited to try it. Might be a little bit before we're doing paint on this again. I just ripped most of the label off with the tape. Oh well. I guess it's going to get covered in paint anyways, but we've got the dash is going to be coming up soon, and it is on the wall over there, sandblasted in bare metal. So we'll be mixing some primer and paint for that. Okay, this next one is from Paul Sturtz in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This one has an interesting story behind it. So I got a Facebook message one day from this random lady that's all like, hey, what's your address? So did a little Facebook profile search on her and found out that she's not like some Norwegian princess trying to share her wealth with me, that it was a legit person from Victoria. So I messaged her back with the address and phone number. She calls me right away. She's from the post office. It turns out that when Paul sent us this, he got an old address that for some reason still shows up on Google. If you Google LG Speed and Custom, this old address where I used to live like 6 years ago comes up. That house doesn't even exist anymore. It got bulldozed and turned into condos. So Canada Post called me because they didn't know where to send this to because that address doesn't exist anymore. So we got it sorted out and it made its way here. For those that need to or want to send stuff and need to get my address, please send me an email at lgspeedcustom@gmail.com. I don't have my phone number or address publicly on the internet just to avoid, I get so many spam and scam phone calls, and as well as a lot of people that call and they're excited to talk about their projects and they want to talk to me about them, but at the same time, like during the day, like I got stuff to do. I got to work, so I can't chat on the phone all day, unfortunately. So that's why I don't have anything publicly listed. So shoot me an email, lgspeedcustom@gmail.com, and I'll gladly get you the details. So what did Paul send us? We got a note here. Lee, congratulations. In recognition for your efforts to keep the old ways alive, you are hereby voted in as an honorary member of the Rakers Car Club, established in 1959 in Los Alamos, New Mexico, also known as the Atomic City. That's really cool. Note the white cloud behind the hot rod. And yeah, I'm awarded this reproduction plaque. That's so cool. Original plaques are impossible to find, so I scanned mine into the computer and printed it into this smaller size on HP photographic paper. It's attached to a small piece of steel with 3M Super 77 contact cement and oversprayed with Krylon clear gloss. Krylon, just like the windshield frame. The magnets on the back will hold it to any metal surface. Since it's only paper, any water or chemical could damage it, but if you ever mess it up, I'll print you another copy. There are only 2 of us original members still active. The other member has a 48 Ford 2-door in high school, and I wanted to buy it so bad, but my dad gave me the thumbs down. Always wanted one, but it never happened. So I can relive it through your adventures in your 47. Boss Raker, Paul. Wow, that's such a cool story. I love the Atomic City part. That whole atomic era has always really fascinated me. Let's open this up and see what it's... Wow, isn't that great? Thanks so much, Paul. I'm honored to be a member. Let's go put this with, I got some other club plaques. We'll go put it with that. Okay, this top shelf is looking pretty full here, but I think if we go down, we got a spot. Perfect spot right there for it. Great, thanks so much, Paul. Okay, back to this. So we had to build little brackets to hold these in. I think I'm going to get a couple measurements off here, and then we'll draw something up on the computer and plasma cut a whole bunch out because it's way faster than making each one by hand. So if we go 3 inches by, let's go 3 inches by 2 inches. We're just gonna make a little, basically, little tab that will either bolt or maybe even rivet to here, and then we'll screw or bolt to the wood here. I think that's my plan. I've just loaded some 16 gauge sheet metal onto the plasma cutter here. So we'll cut one out, see how it works, and then if it's okay, we'll cut the rest out. So I've got, this will sit along the roof edge, and I've got 2 3/16 holes here that we can fasten it to the car with, and then one hole that goes into the wood, and this one I slotted because you know how the holes that are already in the wood kind of sit in different positions on the car. So this way we can try to utilize that original hole that's already in our board. There we have it. See how it fits. How's it look? Oh yeah, I think that'll work great. So we can drill a hole there and a hole there in the body. We can put a bolt through there, and then we can also fasten it through there.
It sits below this little lip here, so that's good. Let's try it on a couple other ones, and if it works, we'll cut more out. So this is one further back that had a little bit of a gap in there, and that slotted hole is gonna work perfect. So I think these will be just great. Let's cut a bunch out. So we've got 7 bows, which means we're gonna need 2 per bow, so that's 14. We already cut one out, so we need to cut 13 more out.
Okay, so we cut 13 more of these things out. I painted them black just before I had lunch, and now I think we're ready to start putting them in. One mocked up in here. I've got just a bolt going through here. I think it's like a 1024 or something like that. But for the other 3, I'm gonna drill a hole, and I got a whole bag of these little screws. So work fine for that. Got a 1/8" drill bit on here. I guess all we can do is drill some holes and put them in. That's all right. Cool. There's one. Let's try 2. And then the one going into the wood, I'm gonna pre-drill it. The paint is still a little bit fresh, but it'll be fine. I mean, once the roof insert goes on, you'll never anyways. Okay, that seems okay. I guess we'll just work our way back now.
So this is working really well. I've changed to a bigger screw. This is a number 8 screw. The screw I was using was a little bit too small for the 1/8" drill bit that I was using, and I don't have a smaller drill bit. So I just went to a bigger screw. The downside is I just ran out of screws, and I've got 3 bows left to do. Each bow uses 6 screws. So I'm gonna run to the nut and bolt store right now, get some screws. Okay, where were we?
Okay, well, those roof bows turned out great. I am very happy, very pleased with that. Oh, you know what else is great? The primer didn't come up with my tape. That's always a risk, a scary thought. But yeah, these bows I'm very happy with. There's a little bit of tape glue sticking in the primer though, which is kind of annoying. That's what happens when you leave tape for a week. Is the bows, like, are they concourse? Absolutely not. But are they better than the bows that used to be there? Remember a couple videos back when we peeled the old roof off and opened it up and it was just a bunch of 2x4s wedged in there? They weren't even fastened. They were literally just like wedged in place. So, I mean, that worked. But this, I think, is a little bit better than that. And the best part about this is this costs $0. Roof bows saved from the dump. Thanks to Al Clark for calling me before he took those to the dump, because they definitely went to a good home. And yeah, from here, we can build a roof insert. I've got an idea for that. We're probably not going to do that on this video because there's a lot to that. And this video will be 3 hours long if we keep going. So we'll do another video where we make the roof insert. I'm not going to do the acrylic roof insert like some of you guys asked about. Remember the Model T that Jim and I chopped, and then we did the red acrylic see-through roof insert with the metal flake border. We're not going to get that crazy with this one, but I do have a really, really cool idea on, we're going to do a tuck and roll roof insert. So for the you upholstery guys that always want me to do more upholstery videos, there'll be some of that coming up. But yeah, I think this turned out really good. I'm very happy with it. It's got a little bit of a rattle. Not sure what that is, just noticed. In fact, I don't actually, no, that's not even the roof rattling. That's another piece inside here rattling. So we won't worry about that. We'll take that apart later. One other thing I want to show you guys. So this cowl vent that we put in, you guys remember the cowl vent video where we hammer welded this in? So much like the roof bows, I thought this turned out really good. This primer is right over top of the metal. There's no body filler at all. This is the finished metal product with primer over top. I think it looks great. I'm really, really happy with it, very pleased with it. However, a guy named David Wilfong got on the comments on this and left multiple comments on how I did this wrong. So we're gonna have to redo it because according to him, this is no good at all. I'm just a YouTube welder. The correct way to do this would be to MIG weld it, and to not warp with the MIG weld, you just gotta jump around in a whole bunch of spots, which, you know, that does work. You can do it that way. But the way that I chose to do it, like I said, I thought it turned out great, but I guess we're gonna have to redo it. So maybe if you guys want, you can go back to the other video where we welded the cowl vent in and check out his comments and maybe comment on there how you feel that this turned out and, you know, if we need to redo it or not. I didn't want to redo it, but according to him, it's no good. Junk. Oh yeah, tons of headroom still. We could chop this car another inch or two. It'd still be all right. All right, I think we're gonna call this video here. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks to Glenn and Paul for the gifts. That's awesome. Much, much appreciated. I don't know what we're gonna do the next video on. Like, I kind of want to keep going on the top because I like, you know, I'm in the zone, I'm in the top zone, but at the same time, that's not gonna get this car closer to the road. And it's kind of nice working on them when the top is still open because it's so bright in here. You don't need a light or anything. And if we fill the roof in, we're gonna block all that light out. So probably won't do that for a bit yet, but there's tons of other things that need to be done on this car. So make sure to subscribe and hit notifications so that when the next video on this car comes out, you know all about it. And yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to hit the website, lgspeedcustom.com. How do I get out of this thing?